Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very, very sought-after spirit review. I am the king of extreme that is now washed in your jealousy and judgment. Yes, you're jelly. You got jelly all over you. Your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll stop. But I'm joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only.
Just Tony G, no sandwiches necessary. Like, share, subscribe.
Elmer T. Lee. This one, funny enough, I just stumbled onto a store, and it was
you got lucky.
It was just on the shelf. It was a new employee, didn't know what it was. They just put it on the shelf for $70. Scooped it up.
Yeah.
So, yes, wash me in your jealousy. Now, I corked this bottle the other night with my brother because, it was a interesting evening, discussing life and truth. So, here's the footage of that. Hey there, T. I know you wanted to be here for the cork pop of this, but extenuating circumstances. I just need to get into this tonight, but let's get all that off. So we have the footage and the documentation, and oh, that was satisfied. Sorry, T, but it was necessary. So here we are. Couple of pours of Elmer T. Lee.
Been looking forward to this one.
The highly sought after.
Things.
Yeah, Elmer T. Lee was actually the master distiller of Buffalo Trace. So Elmer T. Lee produced some of the finest bourbons ever bottled. This single barrel bourbon is a tribute to him. Now, back in the day when Elmer was alive and the bottles that were bottled while he was alive, those are very valuable. He himself would decide which barrels became Elmer T. Lee. Now I believe it's his descendants that do so, which is perfectly nice.
Smooth nose. Wow, I expected this to be a little bit spicier on the nose.
It's kind of soft apple, little slight
45 ABV, 90 proof.
Barely any vanilla, a lot of apple, some caramel, but not much. I'm mostly getting green apple.
I was gonna say, more orchard fruit here. Yeah, like a caramel Granny Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, this is excellent.
Really
I can
nice
see
nose.
just on the nose why this is sought after.
Absolutely. This is delightful.
And this is another bourbon from the legendary Buffalo Trace distillery. Like, they don't need my help. They don't like, it pretty much just sells itself. But I figured I got some. These are the reviews that folks want to see. And, I've got to service the K.O.E. Nation and give them the things that they need. So
absolutely. Wow. Really surprised on the nose. Very nice. A little spicier on the palate. There's the fruit comes through, but there's like
it's on the front.
Yeah,
and that peppery oak.
It's a peppery oak, but there's like a leathery quality to it, which is actually kind of nice. It's different.
I can see where you're coming from. That's not where my mind went first. It almost went to kind of almost like a deep, rich tobacco.
Yeah.
Like
there
a cigar, like not one you've sparked, but a cigar that you're chewing on.
That's a better description. Just like a raw tobacco. Wow.
Because the apple is the first thing that hits your palate, but then it turns into that spice very quickly.
That nose and that palate are pretty different.
I'm going to be honest. And now we're going out of Copita nosing glasses. Wow. When you're breathing in and bringing the whiskey into your mouth.
Oh, wow.
The palate and the nose match.
Okay.
Like that, in that moment, it matches. But then as you allow more reactions to happen in your mouth, that's where it just shifts to this oaky spice and, like you said, that leathery tobacco, which...
It's different, but it's really not. I mean, it's not overwhelming
I'm
at all.
not really finding vanilla there, but I don't think that's what this was meant to be. There was a sweetness
there, and I'm not thinking vanilla. I'm thinking more like a very, like a buttercream frosting maybe, but it's very subtle.
Well, now that you said it, I can't not like, and that's the power of suggestion, folks.
But because like you said, I'm thinking vanilla, but there's not a lot of vanilla there, but like. Not like an overly sweet like wedding cake frosting, but just a very smooth like buttercream frosting that's very subtle that doesn't dilute the cake itself, if you will. Just something that actually accommodates the cake instead of overpowering it.
Oh wow, this is impressive stuff.
Is really good.
I can see why people go nuts for this because, like I said, I paid $70 for this. I could justify paying twice that. But I don't know how, like, I've heard it goes way more than that, so.
Wow. Really nice stuff.
Yeah, so this is...
Very impressive.
Elmer...
Wow.
They make some good whiskey. I don't know what else to say. Now, Tony, now we get to the point of grading. Now, we're going to grade these, for those who do not know, on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 stars, meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E. Nation has advised you well. And we're going to grade this, Tony, as a bourbon.
Naturally.
As a whiskey.
Yes.
As a cask-aged spirit. It's shelving. And then, for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. So, Tony, as a bourbon, putting this up against all other bourbons on a 5-star scale, what do you grade this one as?
Simple. This is a 4-star bourbon. I mean, it's unique enough that this is definitely something that's not going to be expected. I definitely didn't expect the palate here. The nose is so vastly different than the taste itself, but it's so different. But it's it's a little intrusive, but it's not overwhelming. Like it's so inviting with the palate. It's hard to describe exactly. Like it kind of punches you. But it's not like mean about it.
Maybe like a jab.
It's a friendly,
it's a sparring
it's a
jab.
friendly hello jab.
It's like a sparring jab. It's not like Falcon Punch.
Yeah, and there's no lingering aftertaste that's off-putting at all. It's very mellow and nice and pleasant.
I generally don't gravitate to spicy whiskeys. It's not generally like this one has spice. But like you said, it's not intrusive.
No, it's the right amount.
It's complementary to the sweet, which is just mwah.
Yeah, if you can find that balance, and this one has, like, deserving of a 4-star for sure. As a bourbon, I think.
As a bourbon, I'm gonna give this 4.5.
That's fair.
This is up there with any bourbon I've had. Now, Buffalo Trace does know how to make some fine bourbon.
They are familiar. Yes.
I think they've made a bottle or two.
I would go with. Well, bottle or two, like on one of your shelves. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm going to go 4.5 for my Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Or like 8 bottles on another.
For Elmer T. Lee. That's... So now we move on to whiskey.
Okay.
As a whiskey, this is putting it up against all the world of whiskey, Canadians, bourbons, ryes, Japanese whiskeys.
Let's not put it up against Canadian.
Scotch whiskeys, Irish whiskeys. All the wide world of whiskeys.
4.
4 stars.
I think that's fair because it's going to be different enough than most of the other regions of the world that this isn't something that's a standard flavor profile.
I was about to say, if you were going to put this in like, how we do our 32 rye tournament, the Sweet 16 bourbon tournament, if you were to put this in just a Whiskeys of the World tournament, and people didn't know, like, is this going up against Japanese?
It's going to stand out.
It's such a unique, like, it is an exemplar, but also transcends.
I don't think anybody
the category of bourbon.
I don't think anybody confused it for something besides bourbon, but it stands out enough that people would remember this flavor profile.
Yeah. So this one, I'm going to disagree with you, but only just. I'm going to give this 4.25. as a whiskey. I think this is
Very
ascendant,
nice.
and not just because of its rarity. I'm trying not to factor that in too hard, and I'm just considering the juice here because that's what you come for here at the K.O.E Nation. Now, we move on to cask aged spirit, putting it up against all the cognacs, armagnacs, rums, brandies, reposado, and añejo tequilas. I mean, anything aged in a cask that's over 40% ABV when it gets bottled. So, what would you rate this as a cask aged spirit, T?
I'm trying to find a reason not to give it another 4, and I can't think of a good one, honestly. Like, there's nothing about this that doesn't justify a 4-star rating, and that's what I'm going to go with.
So I
think this is 4s across the board.
So in any category, however you'd want to look at it, all the sundry of category, I don't get to use that word enough. You would go with 4 star. It's just right. It's not like 5-star. Oh my God, it just solved all my problems from drinking it.
But
that's not actually
right
true,
damn
folks.
up there.
Please drink responsibly.
And I'm just thinking about, like, this would be one that I would love to see, like, finished in like a sherry cask. Just add some little extra pizzazz just to throw.
Tony, you and I would love that.
Well, yeah, we would.
But there's people listening to words you just said who just want to shove a cream pie through their computer right into your face.
I think you could do some fun stuff with this in terms of finishing, and it wouldn't hurt it no matter how you did it.
You could finish this, but it's already such a sought after product that Buffalo Trace is like, why experiment?
True.
Which is unfortunate, but I think this would be heavenly with a Madeira cask finish.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Like, sherry'd be amazing, but some of our finest whiskeys have had Madeira finishings. So
yeah, this would go really well with that.
So yes, but we're dreamers. I'm going to agree with you on cask aging. 4 stars. This is ascendant stuff, and gosh, I'm really glad I have a bottle of it. Now, Tony, now we move on to shelving. Top, middle, bottom.
This is a top shelf bourbon. I mean, people even remotely familiar with bourbon are probably going to recognize that name and that label and go, oh, wow. And if you have that on the middle shelf, you're not putting this on the bottom shelf.
I'm trying to think. It's a show my brother really likes, Justified, where one of the villains goes, why don't you pour me a 4-finger glass of some Elmer T? And so, like, it's also got that television association. Yeah. Like, it's seen as a classy, high-end bourbon.
Yeah, and it presents very nicely.
Really. Yeah, I mean, it's that, and as a guy with not a lot of shelf space to spare,
it's going to fit.
I like how they don't try to go over the top and try to take up way more space than a 750 should really take up. Look at you, Blantons. But
that's fair.
Now, granted, we love the bottles of Blantons, why we're complaining. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, this will be my top shelf. Now, the secret 5th question. Now, Tony, this cost me $70 USD.
It's probably going to cost you twice that if you find it.
At least.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be at some Hy-Vee raffle. So it's probably going to cost you 2-3 times. But if you could find it, we'll split it in 2 questions. $70, obviously, we would both jump at it.
100%.
Now, I've seen it going for almost $280, $300 on some of these weird secondary forms. And that's...
I don't think so, just because that justifies the reasoning of that needing to be something. Let's get away from the stigma that we need to pay 4 or 5 times what retail.
Like, the secondary market, or even just like the retail of Blanton's is still at about 100.
Yeah.
So, like, I would say that they're completely different in their flavor profiles.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Completely different. But I could see how they could be seen as comparable to each other. They're both great bourbons that I would drink for different moods.
Yeah.
Like, this one's a bit more festive. To me, Blanton's is a bit more introspective. That's how I would, at least, your mileage may vary. But yes, for 280, I don't think I would. I would spring on it if I found it for 70 or even twice that.
Yeah.
140, I would still spring on it.
I think just knowing the market out there, I would probably pay $140 for this. And depending on how hard up I was for a few other bottles, I'd probably try to haggle my way into something else. But even then, this is really nice. I'd be really tempted to open it.
Now, Tony, here's the problem. I want to enter this into the next Sweet 16 bourbon tournament. You and I both know this bottle might not survive that long. Yeah. This is too good of stuff, and I can already tell, like at Christmas, if I still have this, I'm going to be having my family give this one a real try. Yes, I don't think that one's going to make it to the bourbon tournament, but we'll see. We will see, folks.
Yeah.
But, well, goodness gracious.
Very good stuff.
Elmer T. Lee.
Yes. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but if this was readily available, if this was as available as like Buffalo Trace, this would make a really good mixer.
Ooh.
It would.
Whiskey Fix.
Yeah. Like,
if you don't know what a Whiskey Fix is, 2 ounces of whiskey. Some people, whatever whiskey you prefer. 1 ounce lemon juice, 1 ounce simple syrup, stirred, don't shake that one, and serve it over a full glass of crushed ice.
Yeah.
This would be a heavenly Whiskey Fix.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm trying to, and of course, like, you got your old fashions and that kind of stuff. It would all be good, but this one, I would say an ice ball would work.
I think
too.
you could do that.
But
usually I'm against all that, but
it's so hard to find, and this is probably the last bottle of this I'll ever own.
True.
I'll probably just enjoy it neat, like I am right here, folks.
Also fair.
So, T, anything you'd like to say to the folks?
No, very good stuff. Jump on it if you can find it at an affordable price.
Yes, as I'm known to say around here, folks. All that being said, thank you for joining us here at the K.O.E. Nation for this very special review of Elmer T. Lee Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the Prince and Potentate of the political parlance, the Lord of the Scottish Highlands, one damn handsome man. You can find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube and Twitch. That's K as in the King, O as in, oh my God, it's the King of Extreme. E as in Extreme. K.O.E. Nation, YouTube, and Twitch. I am signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner. I'm hoping to find all of you back here happy, healthy, much the wiser. T, take it away.
I'm just Tony G. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for coming by.
That was delightful.
That is really
smooths itself out.
Get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive.
Nice.
El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
yeah.